1981 in the romantic capital Paris. The French press. It was a shock when the case appeared. Young Japanese girl Anton, to satisfy a sick desire. With most of the material coming from the real world, there are no additions or edits. And it was the perpetrator who sat down and shared the whole story. Documentary film. The man-eater who's walking around. The Kadibo Den world key-free. It has shocked many people. Before his monstrous and cruel hobby. VI died today. Please consider carefully before watching. Because these are the videos that once again one more time, to look directly at the crimes of the cannibal. To shake the world. That year Sagawa IC. Trenzawa IC was born 1949 in Hyogo Prefecture, Kobe, Japan. In a very wealthy and powerful family. Sagawa is pampered by her parents and enjoy a life of privilege. Even early on, was given to learn all the best skills. The best, but the most expensive education. It can't be controlled. The source of his illness. Because actually since first grade, Sagawa soon had monstrous tastes. Always pay attention to the location. My classmates' thighs look delicious. From small to big, Sagawa has always been a small person, with a height of just 1.45 m, even in adulthood. So, Sagawa describes himself as a weak man. Ugly and small. Maybe that's why. He always has a desire. They absorb the energy of women. Beautiful and healthier. Strangely is, Sagawa doesn't care about Japanese women. For him, the target must be European women, tall, blonde. He sees her as the perfect woman. People who are capable of giving him that feeling to make up for the small part of his body. Nothing is too much for that. Until he found out what he swore he wanted. Still not simple, is longing to get in bed with a European beauty. It's also the desire to eat them. Just like that, Sagawa is quiet. Small talk and shy away from the crowd. But there are horrible thoughts in my mind. He's always imagining himself one day. He will kill and eat the woman he loves. And at least twice in his life, Aisawa tried to do it. Now my paranoid thoughts. In 1970, Sagawa tried to fulfill that horrible desire. In one time, seeing an ideal woman on the streets of Tokyo, he followed Theo and climbed into the subject's apartment. A German lecturer where he studied in Tokyo. That night Sagawa was nervous. When you're about to achieve something you've held back for so long. However, when Sagawa was about to kill the victim, this woman woke up. When she saw Sagawa, she screamed. Sagawa had to run away. After the first failed attempt, Sagawa was looking for help. He met with a psychiatrist and started confessing to his own deviant desires. The doctor was shocked and categorized Sagawa as mentally ill. It's very dangerous for society. The father of Sagawa, a rich man. Don't accept this. Right after that, I've built another cover for my son and prepare to wait for Sagawa to be old enough. Is to send to study abroad. After graduating from high school in 1981, Sagawa went to study abroad at Superd University in Paris. France where for a long time. He still had the dream that he was here, he'll get his crazy idea. France almost at night. Every Sagawa brings prostitutes to his room and intend to kill them from behind. But that thought was restrained by Sagawa because he gradually realized another secret. That's what he's obsessed with, and longing to eat the girl he loves. All those years, Sagawa said to himself, if he is better prepared, this dream will come true. And that's exactly what Sagawa drew in his mind. In 1981, he met the man of his dreams. A beautiful girl named Rini Hadef from the Netherlands. Finally, the time has come. After years of suppressing that desire, now Sagawa is starting to plan. To satisfy my desires, Rini, 25-year-old girl, as a PhD and EDDDHEHE student
Also
attends studies at Stubone such as IC Sagawa. From the first time you appeared,
Great.
I was fascinated by Rini's beautiful body and quickly become friends with her. Sagawa sought to approach Rini for reasons. Thanks to German tutoring by the wealth of the family, Sagawa kept taking Rini to concerts, often go to art exhibitions and have dinner together. Rini dear Sagawa, because the smart guy, he's very knowledgeable about art subjects. You have no feelings, Nam. Female with her Japanese friend. This makes the desire for Rini more intense in the heart of the Sagawa. To November 6, 1981. I want to talk about literature. Sagawa invited Reni to his house. Reni, as well as every time, happily agreed. But maybe you didn't expect it. From the moment Sagawa opened the offer to the playhouse, he soon made a plan for himself. Scattering conscience. That night when you were about to have dinner, and Rini's sitting at the table reading Sagawa poetry, Rini didn't notice, took the misery and slowly came back from behind. Aimed the book straight at the back of the head. He immediately took the life of the girl. Sagawa initially feared regret for his actions, but only for a moment. He changed his mind and became ill. I've been thinking about calling an ambulance, but I thought, wait, why do I have to be stupid? This is when I realized my dream. Over the years, why not try once? After killing Rini, no matter if you're pregnant, Sagawa still performs depraved VI acts with her body. And then for 2 days the Sagawa killer consumed most of her body. In this kitchen, he even has reserves, by dividing the raw parts to freeze the stone. And when used somewhat, he even took a picture of it as a souvenir. In an extremely outrageous segment of the film, documents the killer shared in the film that he had a plan to eat one portion at a time. The victim's body, starting from the ass, the process by which he committed the barbaric crime against Rini. It's narrated by a very gruesome film, enough to haunt the viewer all night. He even said, "No one believes me, but my goal is to eat her meat. Not murder, there's no way high, without wanting to taste the taste of a beautiful woman." Yeah. After 2 days of satisfying his bestiality, into the third day, Sagawa started cleaning up everything. And for the extra body parts of Rini, into a VA. He's going to take it and throw it in a lake in Potter Park. Bolin, however, for fear of Sagawa's attention, He threw the suitcase back in the park and left. The next morning, a couple is walking in the park. I saw a woman's hand sticking out of the babble, filled with blood. The couple was in a hurry to call the police. After 2 days, the VA was discovered. The French police followed the lead and quickly came to Sagawa's house, arresting the killer. Eat human flesh. Sagawa IC in home refrigerator. Sagawa filled with female body parts. But this is not the end of him. After being arrested in France, Sagawa was sent for a psychiatric evaluation. However, thanks to the power of a father and a top lawyer, after 2 years of trial, the French judge finally declared Sagawa to be mentally ill and need to be treated indefinitely in Power Gear Psychiatric Hospital. The trial is over. Sagawa only has 15 months and get away with the mental label. After 2 years of interrogation and detention in France, the killer was deported to Japan. At that time, many people thought Sagawa will have to spend his whole life in a mental hospital. But it's the exact opposite. Because even when we got back to the country, he was diagnosed at Masazawa Hospital in Japan. Then doctors say that Sagawa is completely be able to take responsibility for your actions. His motive for murder comes from strange sexual desires. However, now, the French authorities have closed the sentence of Sagawa after deportation. This is what makes the Japanese government. There is no evidence to convict him. We can only let him free. In 1984, the killer's family took him to Tokyo. The most surprising thing was when he was released. Sagawa is not struggling to reintegrate into life and even become a celebrity. He shows up in shows, The Interview, and I'm not afraid to share the horror story. Old Kier, he looks fat and healthy too. Late 1080s to early 1092s. It's a big name in some newspapers in Japan. Sakawa wrote many books, and among them is an autobiography, a detailed account of the writing process, and Eat His Savage Flesh. More surprising than the book sold for £200,000. Not all 6 Sagawa make videos to satisfy the curiosity of the audience. Want to learn about a predatory killer? He created his own website to publish gruesome excerpts from the book itself, My Crime Story, and open up discussions about why. At SAO, eating humans is not a terrible thing. It doesn't stop there. Sakawa IC also writes comics. His work is called Segawan and its contents. The detailed description of how he ate the reedy. More perverted, he also specifically described each of the raw SAO flavored parts and how he's processing them to enjoy before being caught. Even though it's extremely disgusting, Seiakuisen is still released. Fortunately, the number of book launches is very small, and so far, they can only be purchased online for hundreds of dollars on commercial exchanges. Big exchange. Until the last years of my life, when he was interviewed, Sagawa arrogantly said that they call me a flesh-eating saint. I'm very happy about this. Even 01 little remorse. Sagawa is clear. I want to commit the crime again. Today on the way to GA train, I met a very beautiful girl. I thought about my will to be done once again before death.
Please leave a comment about your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Stay tuned for more thrilling content and to experience the nightmares ahead.